Happy birthday, Oklahoma Sports Scene. That's right, we just finished our second year on Oklahoma Sports Scene here. Hello again, everyone. Welcome. Chris Lincoln along with Gil Cloud. Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene across the state of Oklahoma here from Bricktown Brewery Restaurant in South Peoria. How about that, Coach?
I'll tell you, it's a great, great cake. I lifted it a few minutes ago. It is really sweet, and I tell you, I can't wait to get into it.
Let's blow the candles out and make a wish, right?
All right.
Ready?
There you go. I know you're windier than I am.
There we go. There we go.
That.
Well, let's give you our football lineup here. It starts with football, of course. Football week number 2 in the books. OSU Cowboys home opener. Our guy Thomas Walkinsik was over there on a red-hot day in Stillwater, getting some of the sights and sounds of Cowboys football. We'll feature that at the start of the show. And then we'll preview the big one in Tulsa on Saturday afternoon. Coach, the Cowboys come to Tulsa.
Big game for University of Tulsa to have the Big 12 opponent come to Tulsa, play in Chapman Stadium. And we've got to challenge the fans, to get in. Don't let Oklahoma State have more folks than the University of Tulsa for their home game.
Yeah, Coach Morris, let's have more blue than orange, but I don't know about that. Oklahoma State's got a great fan base here in Tulsa.
Sure do.
Great alumni group here. Mike Melega, the Tulsa Drillers president and general manager, will be here, and he'll be talking about their drive for the second straight Texas League title.
I tell you what, Scott Hennessy has done such a fabulous job bringing the Drillers along, and for them to go back to back if they can, it'll be. And I tell you, they eliminated the biggest opponent,
Arkansas. That's right.
They were 10-22 against Arkansas. So now they got Amarillo, the Poodles, Sod Poodles, or whatever they're called, and hopefully they play the first 2 games in Amarillo, and they'll wrap it up in Tulsa for the championship.
And one of the biggest high school football games of the year in Oklahoma or any place in the nation, of course, is Union Jenks. It is the 16th edition of the Mid-First Bank Bowl. We played at Union Tuttle Stadium on Friday night. Who better than Don King to come here to talk about it, the voice of the Jenks Trojans.
Been a great, great game for a lot of years, and when Union started playing Jenks on an annual basis, I believe it was 1979 when that started, and I tell you what, it has been a tremendous rivalry all those years.
Always great games. In fact, Don King was telling us that he now has called 13 of their 16 state championship games. So you'll enjoy this with Don King. Of course, our Remington Race Report and parting shots. But Coach, let's start with kind of a recap looking back to week 2 in college football and start with some blowouts for both OU and OSU.
I tell you, OU has really played 2 scrimmages.
Yeah, that's right.
I think they've gotten ready, and I don't think this week with UCLA is going to be any different.
That's right. That's coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox on Saturday for the Sooners. We're 2-0 and ranked number 5 in the nation. By the way, what did South Dakota get besides a 70-14 beating? They got a check for $575,000.
Which is a little cheaper than normal.
That's right.
I think.
Yeah.
Usually it's in the millions.
Yeah, Tulsa got $1.4 million.
Right.
Last week at Michigan State.
But the thing about it, they played. I saw that they played everybody who suited up.
That's right. It's great.
Which is fantastic. And with the new rule that the freshmen can play in 4 games and not count.
Yeah.
That's great, because I understand that Spencer Rattler got in the game.
He did, played
and
well.
Got a standing O and all that kind of business. So I think that's a good rule to be able to find out who can play and who can't.
And not lose the year of eligibility.
And not use the year. That's right.
Tulsa, boy, what a big win for the Golden Hurricane last Saturday night out of San Jose State, 31-16. Again, that defense is really dominant.
I listened to Kelly Hines today on the radio, and that's what she said. She said, it might be one of the best that she's seen, and she's covered them for 5 years now. She said they stepped up at the critical time to be able to get the turnover or make the stop that they needed to. And, there's 3 phases to the game: offense, defense, and kicking.
Yeah.
If you win 2 of them, you win the game.
Tulsa had 539 yards of total offense, got the offense going finally. Again, a suffocating defense. And they made the point, Coach, and I wouldn't argue it. TU may have, of all our football teams in the state, OU and OSU, they may have the best defensive team.
They could have the best defensive team. I think they might have played the 2 toughest teams so far of the 3. There's no
doubt.
question.
Michigan State and San Jose State.
Yeah.
Arkansas fell at Ole Miss, their SEC opener. They lost 31-17. That now, coaches, 12 straight SEC losses for the Hogs. They're 1-17 since November of 2016.
Well, I heard our good friend Pat Jones talking about that today. And, the thing Pat said, just don't panic at this point. It's very early, and that league is a tough league, and you got to play every week. And I think Arkansas is banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they have some injuries.
And we enjoyed this one. Number 6 LSU goes to Austin, Texas, 45 Number 9, Texas 38, and said, Texas, we're back.
Where are you? Back to 500?
That didn't surprise you, did it?
I told you, 4 weeks ago,
That's right.
I thought Texas was overrated.
Yeah.
Overrated. Here we go.
Clemson, number 1 ranked, and they beat Texas A&M, number 12. That was 24-10. Pretty good football game at Clemson. And the NFL, the opening week. Highlights, of course, coach, the Cowboys. Dak Prescott made his case for his big contract. 405 yards, a record 4 touchdowns. Zach Elliott, they paid him $90 million. They got 53 yards back. They beat the Giants, though, 35-17. Scored on 5 straight possessions.
I think the Cowboys really looked like their offense was clicking, and they just did everything right. And New York couldn't get anything started at all, although I thought for a while that Manning played pretty well, given what he's got. And I don't know the talent level, but I think what Dallas has now on offense is unbelievable.
Patrick Mahomes, as usual, was just incredible for the Chiefs. 378 yards, 3 touchdowns. They destroyed the Jaguars on the road, 40-26 in the opening week. Titans, wow, they put a beating on the Browns, 43-13. The Browns were already celebrating a division championship. The new coming and Baker Mayfield, they had a horrible game, Coach.
I tell you, I think their offensive line didn't block anybody. It was the whole A block.
18 penalties, Coach.
Well, that was unbelievable. At one point, they had back-to-back penalties. That you cannot move the football, or you can't hold an offense if you're going to give them field position. And they gave them field position the entire game.
And Kyler Murray in his NFL debut with the Arizona Cardinals got to a bit of a shaky start to 3 quarters. Had an interception, with some trouble with moving the ball. But he came alive, as he usually does, in the 4th quarter. Got him in overtime.
He has that same knack, and Baker Mayfield does too, to make something out of nothing. And I think that's what he did. I mean, like you say, the start was so shaky. You're watching, you're just feeling, oh my gosh, he's not going to make it. And yet he stayed after it. And in the end, they tied up.
And I got to get a comment from you on Antonio Brown and that circus. He now is a New England Patriot. I guess that's what he always wanted to be. He played everybody.
I think he did. And if you heard the excerpt that went viral with John Gruden, where he was talking to him, he said, "Hey, you're my man. You're the guy I brought here. I want you to be a player for us." And he was mumbling, not saying much. He had his mind made up. He wasn't going to play in Oakland. And, when you get to that point, it's good to get him on and get it going down the road.
Well, again, we're going to talk to the Drillers. They're going for the Texas League Championship this week. They have home games Friday, hopefully Saturday, Sunday, if it goes that far. And the Tulsa Roughnecks are off this weekend. They'll come back with home matches September 21st and the 25th. We're going to come back with a special feature. The Oklahoma State Cowboys home opener at the T-Boone Cricket Stadium against McNeese State last week. Join us for that right after this break.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting? That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Whether it's a wedding, birthday, family reunion, or company event, give your next big event a unique country feel at our Red Barn Event Center located just north of Tulsa. We feature plenty of party room inside and out for up to 350 guests, a huge open floor space, and even a big stage. The Red Barn features a full kitchen, separate bride and groom dressing areas. Outside weddings are beautiful under our 100-year-old pecan tree. For your next big event, with a do-it-yourself wedding, the Red Barn Event Center is the perfect choice. Booking now for future events.
Have you seen the MDX? I'm pretty sure it was in the showroom when I left yesterday.
No, sorry, Jen. I haven't seen it.
Are you positive you haven't seen it?
Hey, Mo, I went ahead and pulled the MDX back up on the showroom for it. Oh, hey, Jen.
Haven't seen it, huh?
The Oklahoma State Cowboys had their home opener last Saturday night as they hosted McNeese State, and they put it to them pretty good. I want to thank the folks, though, of the Pokes on Duck Street. They had a wild, fun time there at their tailgate party. They had the big TV set up there, Coach.
Excellent, yeah.
Buffet, the whole works and stuff. Good time. Thanks for the hospitality there. Meanwhile, I was enjoying that. My guy Thomas Walkinsik was working hard on that field. It was 120 degrees. Getting some great shots for you. Enjoy some of the OSU football opener, starting with a touchdown interception in the first minute of play. And then at the end of the game, we'll hear from Coach Mike Gundy. Here we go.
As I mentioned, I was not happy at all with the first half. We've got to get a lot better in a number of areas. So we'll enjoy this one tonight and then continue to work hard and get ready to go on the next one. CJ looked like he played good. You know, he's gotten loose. He did a nice job in Oregon, and then he got loose here tonight. And it was nice to see 8 catch 1 and run fast. That's what we brought him here for. He took off and did a nice job. Braden, he was rolling pretty good, and I liked the way Drew played for the most part. When he was out there with guys that had played some, he was pretty effective. Gets a little rough for him when there's new guys out there that haven't really worked together. But Jordan McCray made some plays, so that's good. Those guys are coming along. From watching August, they're actually playing better now than I thought they would be. We'll find out as we go on, but I thought they weren't as far along as I wanted them to be 3 weeks ago, but they've played better in games, so that's a good sign.
Now, we saw what Coach Gundy had to say. I tell you what, he was not happy at the end of the first half.
He wasn't.
And I wonder how practice went on Sunday.
Yeah, he was going off the field. Robert Allen, of course, a great sideline reporter we've had on our show a couple of times. We grabbed a quick comment from him. All he said was, undisciplined football. Those boys are getting oxygen when they finish running on Sundays. Hope you save something for this coming over to Tulsa. They come over, and the University of Tulsa will celebrate their home opener finally. They were on the road for their first 2 games. Coach, a big test for the Hurricane, but it should be a great atmosphere at Chapman Stadium. A lot of orange, a lot of blue.
I think it'll be a sellout crowd, obviously, and that'd be a great environment for University of Tulsa. And I tell you, the University of Tulsa's defense now is no slouch.
That's right.
I think they'll give them some opportunities and different looks on defense to be able to hopefully, if they can stay close. And you know, when you play a game like that, if you can stay close to the end, you got a chance to win.
That game kicks off at 2:30 at Chapman Stadium. A lot more coming up about the TU-OSU game with our friend Don Tomkalski, the Associate Athletic Director in charge of communications. DT will join us to talk TU-OSU football straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
The service is amazing.
Food's delicious.
I love the avocado fries.
I love the energy.
Local beer, great food, truly friendly service.
Look all right for you?
Bricktown Brewery, come and get it.
TU fans, football season is here, and the Golden Hurricane has one of the best home schedules in school history. Season tickets are on sale now, or purchase our 3-game mini plan. The plan includes in-state rival Oklahoma State, along with Navy on Military Appreciation Game, and 2-time defending league champion UCF, all for only $90. To get your tickets, call 918-631-GO-TU or visit TulsaHurricane.com/tickets.
Each week we talk about the GTR, and we know for a fact that Forrest Cameron and his wife Sharon put out a tremendous paper. Well, I brought all 6 of them today. I'd like for you to see them. The Union Bound Dairy, and here is the Owasso Rambler. And if you live in Bixby, how about the Bixby Breeze or Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Express, Jenks, District Gazette, and then of course the Tulsa Midtown. All of those, the GTR. If you haven't had an opportunity to read one, do it, and you'll be proud of it.
All right, the Sooners have had their home opener. The Cowboys had their home opener. It's about time for the Golden Hurricane. And let's talk about it. Don Tomkalski, Associate Athletic Director in charge of communications. DT, looking forward to the home opener. A lot of plans for TU-OSU Saturday, 2:30, Chapman Stadium.
We are ready to get home. I know from my end, I'm glad it was kind of 2 weeks, but nevertheless, we're glad to be home and looking forward to a big game. And obviously, Oklahoma State's are out to 2-0 start. We know how sometimes these games are, and hopefully we can put on a good show and pull one out.
What a great opportunity, though, to fill it up the first game of the season. And
great opportunity both ways. I mean, to fill it up, to play a Big 12 team that's, you know, they're on this cusp of being nationally ranked. And just a great opportunity for our players and be a good television audience as well. So, you know, that's what we need to do because of that national television audience. We need to fill the stadium, and we're over 25 right now. We've got a few more days to go, and they're moving. They're moving pretty quick. So they had a good day today. So I think people are anxious, and they know that okay, it's that week, so I'm going to get my ticket. So
well, it's good to get off that frequent flyer thing.
Oh man,
that's right. You know, we ended up getting back at. We got back to campus about 5:45
from San Jose
Sunday morning.
Yeah,
and so yeah, I think our kids are rested.
Well, how many miles we had? East Lansing, Michigan, open at Michigan State, then out to San Jose, California.
I haven't added all those miles together, but it's enough.
Talk about this TU football team, DT. I got to admit, they may have the best defense in the state. I'm really impressed. Of course, with Michigan State, then to shut down San Jose State, then the offense gets rolling. But they had a good moment here coming to this big game with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, you know, I think our defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
We thought coaches thought coming into the season that we would have a good defense. You know, obviously changed the scheme last year,
right.
Second year in that, new coordinator, a lot of depth. That's one thing that last year they were able to develop depth. Lost a couple guys early on, so more depth, but nearly at every position they're playing 2 players defensively. So you know we've got to just increase it a notch this week. You know they just need to. It's going to be a tough hoe offensively, or you know
sure, right.
with their offense.
Yep.
But, I think our guys can be up to the task, and like I said, we're a good defense, and we're only going to get better.
Yeah.
Offensively, I think we're coming along.
Yep.
Who are some of the defenders we want to look at this weekend?
I think Travis Gibson is having a heck of a season so far. A defensive end.
Player.
He's got 8 tackles. 4.5 of those are for tackles for loss. He's just put pressure on it, and then the two linebackers, Cooper Edmiston in the middle, and everyone talks about Zaven Collins, a freshman All-American last year, and on the back end we've got a lot of depth back there too. We've got 3 cornerbacks that have played 2-3 years, and moving them in and out of there, and safety Manny Bunch is a senior, and Brandon Johnson's a kid who was a transfer last year that's come in and is taken over from McKinley Whitfield in that spot, and so he's done really well. And again, you've got a lot of we've got guys that can fill holes.
Looks like Baylor transfer Zach Smith settling in now too.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. He looked really sharp the other night, I thought.
Yeah.
He's just getting used to the receivers and them getting used to him, and I think it takes games.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Coaches say all the time. Coach says all the time. He says, we're the only sport that doesn't have exhibition games or practice games, and it takes some time. And
Sure.
Offensively, it's always, everyone knows that, okay, the defense is ahead of the offense, so it takes some time. But we've seen years before where it takes a little bit. Even in 2016 with Dane Evans, he had a group back. It took a couple games. I can even think back to those years with Brennan Marion and that group of receivers where it took some time. So I think we made a lot of progress this last week. And hopefully we can make progress, coming up in the future. This week, obviously, we need to have one of our best games.
That's true.
And no turnovers, and really be able to perform on a high level.
Yeah.
How's the injuries?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything. I know we had a defensive injury the other day, but I think he'll be okay. So, that's one thing that we've been pretty good at so far. Pretty lucky.
Yeah, you guys, I tell you, the fans love this too. The scheduling really stepped up, and congratulate Dr. Gregg and team administration for getting contracts now. The BLK Turnpike Classic with Oklahoma State, and then I never thought I'd live to see this. A lot of team fans have said this. Arkansas is going to come to Tulsa. That's incredible.
Yeah, did you see that? I think it was the Tulsa World comic
the editorial
that had the pigs flying with angel wings on them. And they said they'd never see it again. That was, I don't know what paper that was. I thought it was Tulsa World, but
that's great.
Yeah, Derek had been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
And he came in one day. He says, "It's going to happen." And I was like, "Boy, if that happens, that's pretty darn good." So, I mean, he knows the importance of it.
Yeah.
And the Oklahoma State, obviously, is a big series. And, Oklahoma State recruits Tulsa.
That's right.
They know how big that game is here to their fans because, I mean, they've got, obviously, a lot of fans in Tulsa. Arkansas is the same way. I think they're starting to recruit Tulsa more, and they have a lot of fans in Tulsa as well. So it's a little bit down the road. Hopefully I'm still here. Not in this capacity necessarily, but,
Oh, my God.
That's – and I think he's got another surprise up his sleeve here that
nice.
We're hopefully going to be able to wrap up in, maybe a couple months.
Great.
How does how does this affect the new TV contract? Playing these kind of people here.
It doesn't, but it encourages, us to get ABC or ESPN,
Correct.
But, the conference is excited that we're stepping up in the schedule where you're getting teams to play home.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And, it showcases our city.
Yeah.
When national TV comes here, it showcases our university, and I mean, you want to have those type teams here. When
Absolutely.
you get Big 12 and you get SEC teams here, and
it's more than a game. It's a game day experience. What do you have as a game day experience?
there's no question, and the game day experience this week, we hope people come out because obviously we have the Canes on Chapman concert series going, and I've got to look at her name, Emily Brooke. Nashville recording artist.
Nice.
She was on the what show was it? American Idol.
Okay.
A couple years ago. She is going to perform. So that starts at 12:30. The team walks at 12:15. 12:30 is that. Also, our Golden Hurricane Sports Properties, our Learfield guys, they have set up on 11th Street a block party. So they'll have all kinds of vendors. They'll have food trucks. They'll be selling beer and wine, have seating areas and all that. So, there's 2 areas there that you do a lot of tailgating, and we hope people come out and tailgate and have a good time. And
2:30 kickoff, Chapman Stadium, Tulsa, Oklahoma State. We have something for DT.
Come back to Bricktown anytime, DT.
Oh, we'll do it. I appreciate it.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
How many years for you now?
This is my 36th football season.
That does it better. Don Tomkalski, the University of Tulsa communications guy. And again, got there to support the Golden Hurricane.
Winston, tie or bow tie? Good choice.
Sammy, they're here.
Good morning, welcome to Don.
Come on, you guys. What did you think they were here for?
Well,
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular Sales Event going on now at Don Carlton Honda.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
The Eschbach 6E Ranch on 800 acres north of Tulsa invites you to know the benefits of miniature Herefords. The 6E has always been committed to providing the finest quality meats. Our hormone-free beef is always on grass, then grain-fed the last 90 days to that perfect mix of marbling and taste. We will deliver the animal to a USDA-inspected facility. All you have to do is pick up your vacuum-packed processed meat. Fill your freezer with the finest quality beef at the best price. We also specialize in registered miniature Herefords for breeding and show. Call the 6E Ranch today.
Oklahoma sports team from the Bricktown Brewery restaurant in South Peoria in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And joining us now is the general manager, the president of the champion South Division, and hopefully still the Texas League champion once again, Mike Melega. Mike, congratulations. Great season, buddy.
Great season. It's still going, man. We're excited.
Glad to have you here. First 2 games in Amarillo earlier in the week, now back to Tulsa. Hopefully to wrap things up.
Absolutely. We'll look to try to close this thing out on home turf. 43 seasons of Drillers baseball. We've never won a championship in front of the home fans, so we have the chance to do it this weekend.
Wow.
Boy, that'd be fantastic. And boy, did they come on the second half.
They did. It was a great second half. It's a very similar story to the last 3 seasons. The Dodgers generally will promote a lot of guys that were really successful in the first half. Gavin Lux, who was just named minor league, all of minor league baseball, minor league player of the year this year. He's one of the guys that we got called up, our best players. They send us these great replacements, and we're playing our best baseball right now.
Isn't that great?
That had to be satisfying for Scott Henderson and this team. I mean, Arkansas was tough for us throughout the regular season. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've never seen it in all my time. I've never seen one team dominate another so much. In our case, they went 10-22. The Drillers were 10-22 against Arkansas this year. Couldn't win a series against them. 0-6 in extra innings. They just had our number. When it came down to the clutch hit, our guys just did not come through. So to be able to get them after a couple of month break of playing them and win 3 out of 5 and take that North Division title away from them, that was extra special.
Wow.
They expected to win, obviously.
Yeah, I think they expected to win, but I think our guys too. There were so many new faces that weren't, around for the 10-22 run against those guys. They didn't know from it, so they were unfazed. Yeah.
And meeting Amarillo, talk about Amarillo's team.
Amarillo's excellent. San Diego Padres affiliate. That's one of the top, if not the top, farm system in all of baseball right now. Excellent talent level. They won the first half. They almost won the second half. They lost it on the last weekend of the second half. So best team in the league probably. So we have our hands full with them.
So we start the series on?
We start the series just here at home. We are on Friday night. Yeah, the Drillers come back tomorrow night on Friday night, and then we play game 3, 4, and 5 as necessary at One Oak Field.
And those Friday, Saturday, 7:05. Sunday is
105.
105. Okay.
Correct.
Talk about the attendance at One Oak this year.
Oh, it was a great season. Started off great. We were celebrating our championship from last year, so the idea of going back to back is fantastic. Early in the season, we got Clayton Kershaw come in here and give us a sellout on a Tuesday night. It was just a special moment in our history. And then over the course of the season, we ended up about 24,000. So thank you to the fans.
I tell you what, the fans really will be excited, I'm sure, about the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, no question. Especially that chance to win at home. Like I said, we've never done it. We had that opportunity 2 years ago in 2017. We came home with a 2-game lead against Midland, and we lost 3 in a row. It was just an absolutely heartbreaking scenario. But we got it out of our system last year with the championship. Now we have a chance to finish what we couldn't do in 2017 and win at home.
When this series is over, do you see any of your players moving up?
You know, I don't think they will be added to the roster. Our guys that already had moved on earlier have been added to the roster, like Gavin Lux. So, you know, I think our guys, they might call up 1 or 2 of them to just be around it and get a taste of it, so they go into spring training next year with that experience under their belt.
The one I'm worried about moving up is Scott Hennessy.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
3 years in a row taking this team to the championship finals.
Unbelievable, right? Yeah, he's been tremendous. I mean, he is just so great with the fans. Last night when we, or Sunday night when we celebrated the win, he's out there with the team and interacting with the fans, and he just is such an engaging guy, and you can see why he's so successful with these players. He gets that locker room to just gel, and the chemistry on this team is just as was last year, Yeah. Every year it's a Scott team.
You know what I think about that, his background and his experience in coaching at the high school and college level to build relationships. It's not moving people up all the time. It's build relationships, make kid better.
100%. It's a teacher job, at this level especially. They're still teaching fundamentals, getting these guys the reps, showing them what it takes to be successful. And more so nowadays with all the analytics kind of making a lot of those decisions for you, you need managers that are diplomats, that keep the locker room fresh, keep everybody pushing in the right direction, and keep them competing for victories. And he wants to win, and that rubs off.
Right.
Mike Melega, our Drillers president and general manager. Mike, talk about the association with the Los Angeles Dodgers. How many years have been now with the Dodgers?
5 years, and it's been a quick but a wonderful 5 years. Obviously, going to championship 3 years in a row. It has been a tremendous experience. The talent that we've seen, the first year Corey Seager, he wins the Rookie of the Year. The second year Cody Bellinger, he wins the Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Third year Walker Buehler, he's basically the ace of the staff now. And now we have Gavin Lux this season, and for the championship last year, he wins Minor League Player of the Year. It's just incredible. They have so much depth, and the Drillers and Tulsa fans are the recipients of it.
Now, can the Dodgers get over the hump this year? Get to the World Series, win the World Series.
I feel like they have a chance to go back to the World Series 3 years in a row. So hopefully this will be the year they get over it. The way their pitchers have done it this year, Kershaw's had a resurgent season. Ryu has had a tremendous year. Walker Buehler's been unbelievable. I think they've got everything that they need. Maybe a little consistency at the back end of the bullpen, but they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Do they do a lot of? I know the scouting has got to be great because of the kind of people they sign. But do you have a lot of the instructors come through Tulsa through the year?
Oh, it's amazing. Unlike anything that we've ever seen before. There'll be times we'll go downstairs, they'll have 7 instructors down there.
Wow.
The place is just absolutely packed. So they're bringing in specialists all the time. They're bringing their folks from their R&D department, which is their analytics department, where they're going over the numbers with the guys. They're showing them and analyzing their swings and their spin rates and doing all those things. It's tremendous, just the foundation that they have in player development with the Dodgers.
We got to compliment you and your staff. They do such a fabulous job for the fans
you.
at One Oak Field. This is what year for the One Oak now?
This was our 10th season. Hard to believe. So next year will be 10 years,
Wow.
but this was our 10th season this year.
Amazing. What a great facility.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
And you've been around, of course, all the minor leagues. How does our facility, Tulsa's One Oak, compare?
Oh, I'd stack it up against anybody. I mean, it's an unbelievable ballpark. I mean, the beauty of that ballpark is we've got great owners and a great landlord in the Tulsa Stadium Trust that gives us, our front office staff as the facility manager, that gives us the resources we need to constantly make it dynamic and changing and getting better and not aging. So,
of course, our show's also seen in Oklahoma City.
Right.
Dodgers over there.
Yes.
How's their AAA team over there?
They do a great job, fantastic job over there, and they got to enjoy a lot of those Tulsa Drillers players. I hope those Oklahoma City fans come here to Tulsa and watch their future OKC Dodgers win a championship here this weekend.
I tell you what, we were over there in June and watched them play, and their stadium is larger.
Yes.
But it's not any nicer.
Right. No, I mean, it's a beautiful ballpark. And I tell you what, since the new ownership group came in there, they've made a bunch of changes and a bunch of investments in the ballpark. You know, it's a little older than ours.
Mm-hmm.
It used to fit about 12,000, but they've kind of redesigned that to where it's a great intimate environment. Our players love going up to Oklahoma City, but they love Tulsa.
Yep, I bet they do.
Yeah. We want to see you on the show next week. Talk about championship. Bring the trophy again.
Would love to. Would love to. We'll have it.
Mike here.
Right. Come back.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys. We love Bricktown Brewery, my
there
family. So thank you, guys. And thanks, Bricktown Brewery.
Go enjoy dinner with your family. I haven't seen much of them lately.
No, I haven't. I haven't. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay,
Mike Melega, the president, general manager of the South Division Tulsa Drillers. By the time we see him next time, we hopefully say back-to-back Texas League champions. Back on Oklahoma Sports Scene with a good friend of ours, Don King. Talk about Union Jenks, the Mid-First Backyard Bowl this Friday night.
At Bricktown Brewery, we're known for our famous original craft beers like Single String Stout and Bluesberry Ale. Did you know we also brew our own root beer at our Oklahoma City brew house? It's called Attaboy Root Beer, and you'll love it no matter what your age. Just ask for a Bricktown Kids menu with all the favorites for our guests 12 and under. Bricktown Brewery opens every day at 11 a.m.
Man, look, for us, Cowboy football is way more than just Cowboy football. This is who we are. We come to Boone Pickens Stadium as many, but in this sea of orange, we stand as one. And we all know what it looks like. The crowd roaring, arms waving, and bullet flying. It's the paddles popping, the shotgun firing, and the fans rocking. It's our passion, our heart, our family, and our team. Because at Oklahoma State, it's who we are.
At Robertson Tire, we'll match any deal you find on tires, but customer service remains at the core of our business. That's why we've been voted the very best in all 3 major area publications. Thank you for choosing Robertson Tire for all your auto care needs.
Welcome back to Bricktown Brewery, and we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, and a guy who's been in this business a long time, the voice of the Jenks Trojans, Don King. Welcome, Don.
Thank you. Good to be with you guys, especially here at Bricktown Brewery.
And of course, it's that time at Mid-First Backyard Bowl. It's always a great time, and always the high school game of the year, it seems like.
You know, it's amazing how these two schools always step up and put on a great performance. It's going to be at Union this year, which is a little bit different.
Right. Mm-hmm. And of course, you call, what did we say, how many championships?
13 out of 16.
13 of 16 state titles. What a program Jenks has had. Tell us about when you first got involved with them.
Well, I started with 1988. J.B. Haney and I actually started the high school game of the week on Cox Cable back in '88. And the first game we ever did was Booker T. Washington at Union. And I think, Gil, you might have been the AD then in '88.
I was.
That was Jack Buns and I actually did the game,
yeah, sure.
and J.B. Haney did sidelines and halftime interviews. But Jenks Union has been very special, obviously, to me. Alan Trimble and I go back to even when he was at NSU as a senior. He worked in the oil patch. Right?
No, not when he was there.
In Cleveland. He's from Cleveland, Oklahoma. He worked in an oil patch. I was in the oil business, and he was busting down downhole pumps. I'm like, Alan, what do you want to do when you graduate this coming year? He goes, I think I want to coach and teach math. And so he ends up at Owasso, then Jenks. And so when we were talking about it, I said, well, there's probably a time, maybe someday, I'll be doing your game or a game with you, because I'm now starting to do the games at Tulsa Cable, and lo and behold, I've been connected with the hip with him for so many years.
I tell you what, the Jenks Union rivalry for years. I mean, you know, when we were moving into what then was 3A, which would now be 5A today, we were number 64 out of the top 64. And I'll never forget, I called Red Rogers about a ball game. And you know how precise Red was about everything.
And matter of fact.
And he said, yeah, we need to play. You're pretty small, but okay, well, that's fine. Well, it got to be May. He hadn't called back. Well, in March, I went ahead and scheduled somebody else. He got so mad at me. I tell you what, he called Frank Harold, who was the brother-in-law of my superintendent, Wesley Jarman.
Okay, right.
They married sisters. And Wesley comes down to my office and he says, what's going on with Red? I said, well, you know, Red, I said, we didn't have a league. I had to find, at that time, it was a 3-team district. So I had to find 7 games. And I said, you know, with being brand new in 3A, I went ahead and scheduled games. He said, okay, no problem. Well, Red wouldn't talk to me for 3 years.
Right.
He literally would not talk to me
Right.
3 years. He goes to Broken Arrow to become the athletic director. We're big, they're big. I called him up one day and said, Red, now we got to play. I said, you know, let's bury the old hatchet. I said, you know, dadgum, we're boring right here. We can both
Right.
make money on this
Right.
deal.
Yeah.
You know, so finally said, I don't like you much, but we'll play you. And that was Red.
You know, yeah, he's the one that really catapulted Jenks to really what it is today. I mean, Trimble has certainly taken to an extreme
absolutely.
level.
Yeah.
But think about this: Red Rogers, then Perry Beaver, and then Ron Lancaster, and then Alan Trimble. That's 4 Hall of Fame coaches,
Absolutely.
back to back
Yeah.
to back to back.
And a chief of the Cherokee.
Right.
The Creeks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Talk about the domination of the Jenks Union guys in state football.
It is something that we'll never see again, and it is something to. I mean, I appreciate it every time I walk into the stadium, no matter who wins, just to know that these two have put on such a great act, great performances, win or lose. It's always a close game, and to be part of that, and just to be able to watch every one of them, basically since 1988, has been sensational.
This is the 16th sponsor of Mid-First Bank here in Tulsa, and had a press earlier in the week where they talked about their dedication and their involvement, and that includes monetarily each school getting $14,000, Gil, for the general fund there. And in the last 15 years, Mid-First Bank's contributed more than $350,000 to those 2 schools. So congratulations. I want to recognize and thank those guys, Scott Stidham, their president himself. They've done a great job. Congratulations. They're great supporters of the program.
Yeah, they really have. And when you look at what that money goes to, each school can dedicate that money to certain programs. Union dedicates theirs. Emily, the athletic director, Emily Warren Barkley, told me they donate that or dedicate that to tutoring for after school and different programs. Jenks usually splits theirs up to different programs that are in need of money. Some of it goes athletically, some of it goes academically.
Game at 7:05, and usually we're used to going to Chapman Stadium at TU. TU, of course, has Oklahoma State coming early Saturday. It just worked out better, and Union is ready to close that stadium down, right, for a year. So
As soon as this football season's over, they're going to raise totally the West Grandstand and start all over again. And I plan to be there the day they start tearing it down because I was there the day they built it.
Well, that's right. My gosh. About a total $40 million bond issue and about
$22 million for the stadium.
Yeah, amazing. I'm looking forward to a new press
Me
box.
too.
And
Restroom.
And a restroom.
And an elevator. Thank
Who
you very
designed
much.
That? Was that your design?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. A lot more to talk about with the Jenks Trojans and the Union Redskins. Of course, it is the Mid-First Backyard Bowl, Friday, 7:05. The game at Tuttle Stadium at Union. Tickets are on sale at all the Mid-First Bank outlets, and you want to be there. It's one of the great events, high school football anywhere in the nation. Back with more with Don King on OK Sportscene.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting? That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Robertson Tire has been your local tire expert since 1962. Now at RobertsonTire.com, it's easier than ever to get a customized quote. And with our price match guarantee, you can be sure that you're getting the best price. For more information, visit RobertsonTire.com.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Whether it's a wedding, birthday, family reunion, or company event, give your next big event a unique country feel at our Red Barn Event Center located just north of Tulsa. We feature plenty of party room inside and out for up to 350 guests, a huge open floor space, and even a big stage. The Red Barn features a full kitchen and separate bride and groom dressing areas. Outside weddings are beautiful under our 100-year-old pecan tree. For your next big event, with a do-it-yourself wedding, the Red Barn Event Center is the perfect choice. Booking now for future events. Two of the most famous high school football helmets in the state of Oklahoma, the Jenks Trojans and the big U there for the Union Redskins. And Don King is with us here, who's been the voice of the Jenks Trojans for years, called 13 of their 16 state championships. A bit different this year, surprisingly so. Union comes into the football game 0-2 with two very close losses, and Jenks 1-1. And what happened last week against Bixby?
Isn't that
was
something?
Stunning. What was the final?
57-7.
I mean,
that's their worst loss in, I think, 45 years. I haven't looked it up yet, but it goes way back. 6 turnovers, 5 interceptions, 2 by Jordan Reagan, who's going to college. I think he committed to TU. And Brennan Presley had 3 interceptions. He's going to OSU. Wow. And then they had a fumble inside their own 10-yard line. That was 38 points, but still, Bixby is very, very good. Yeah. They could, in my opinion, they could beat anybody in the state, but maybe Broken Arrow. Wow. That's how good Lauren Montgomery has it at Bixby right now.
Well, they made a commitment to their program, obviously, and they have the weight room. They got the indoor workout. They've got the weight room is, and of course Lauren's done a great job with that, their off-season program. But I know that in 6A2 we're concerned. Yeah. That we're in the same, Booker T's in the same district with them. And I've been talking with Brad Caleb today, and he thinks it's Booker T, Bixby, and then maybe a dark horse is Sapulpa with that quarterback, because he is a player.
He is a player.
I watched that against Edison on Friday night, and I'm going to tell you talk about an impressive young man now. He's about 6'3" and weighs about 220 pounds and can run like the wind, I'm telling you.
Going to TCU.
TCU.
How about that Booker T. Washington quarterback, the sophomore?
Yes. What happened was he was under concussion protocol the week before.
Oh,
so he could not play against North Little Rock. Right. Okay. So he comes back, and he's just a sophomore. But Brad told me today, he said, he just took command. He was in the huddle. Everybody knew who was in charge, and they went on. And the guy that they played last week was a freshman.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? So, I mean,
it's all about how you are in November. I know some of the Jenks people are frantic because they got beat as bad as they did. Hey, Jenks went to Union in 2003 and got beat 37-0. And Jenks came back and beat them in the semifinals at TU and ended up beating Santa Fe and Reggie Smith in the state finals. So as I've told the Jenks parents, or not necessarily the parents, but some of the fans, hey, it's all about how you are in November. It's all about getting better week to week. And so I don't think there's any reason to push the panic button.
It's not where you start out, it's where you end up.
Exactly.
Both coaches, Keith Riggs made that comment, Kirk Frederick, the Union coach, also, that this is the last game before district play. Right. That's where you really start counting up.
One of the interesting things I think about this rivalry is that since I went back to 1991, this is only the 6th time in 29 years now, 6th time that both teams will have new starting quarterbacks. Usually there's a returning starting quarterback, somebody has the edge, and of those previous 5, Jenks has won 3 and Union has won 2 of them.
You've been around this area for a long time. Give us some of your background and how you got started in this business.
Well, I grew up in Drumright, which is about 45 minutes west of here, and interesting story, my sister is blind, went to TU in the 60s when things were great with Glenn Dobbs in football and Ken Hayes in basketball, and she would take the transistor radio with her, and the battery went out one night at the pavilion, and so I ended up at 10 years old having to do the play-by-play for her.
Goodness.
And so we walked out of the stadium, and she said, I think you could do about as good a job as any of those guys, and the light bulb went on, and so I've been really blessed to be able to do this my entire life for almost 45 years, but started here in radio and then ended up at Tulsa Cable, started doing games for them on a part-time basis in the early 80s, and then full-time since 1988.
It was exciting, I know, when Tulsa Cable took that commitment to high school athletics. It was really great for us. I can remember Mel Elzia and that crew, coming there, and They did basketball and wrestling and football and everything. It was really a testament, I think, to high school athletics in this part of Oklahoma.
Right, and then started Sportscene, the original Sportscene.
Original Sportscene.
And I hate to do this on the air. Becky, is there my phone over there? I've got something for Gil and Chris.
On the seat.
If
Tim,
not,
sit right there.
it's right there by your right hand. I started, no, right there, right by your right hand, right there, that. Grab those. I started, I helped Bill Land. Bill Land and Dean Blevins we started Sportscene together. I produced it. Chris, you helped co-host it.
That's right. You saw that?
These are the original Sportscene stickers. I brought you each one of them.
Look at that.
I love those. Are from those are peel off. People could put them on their cars or whatever back in the day. But I found these in my man cave and wanted to give those to you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, you've also called Drillers Baseball. You've called the Shock. 66ers.
Yeah.
Done it all here, my friend.
Yeah.
And he'll be there, of course, Friday night at Untitled Stadium. We call the Jenks Union game the 16th edition of the Mid-First Bowl. Get out and support both those teams. We have something for Don, right?
Yeah, we do, but I don't have it with me
Glass
right now.
Glass of water's fine, fellas.
We've got a Bricktown Brewery card for you.
I'll use
that. Ran out already the show. We'll get you another one here. Don, thank you for joining us, buddy.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure,
See you
Chris.
there.
Thank you, Gil.
You bet.
You bet.
Right back with our Remington Report and our parting shots. Stay with us.
Winston, tie or bow tie? Good choice.
Sammy, they're here.
Good morning, welcome to Don.
Come on, you guys. What did you think they were here for?
Well,
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular Sales Event going on now at Don Carlton Honda.
The Eshbach 6E Ranch on 800 acres north of Tulsa invites you to know the benefits of miniature Herefords. The 6E has always been committed to providing the finest quality meats. Our hormone-free beef is always on grass, then grain-fed the last 90 days to that perfect mix of marbling and taste. We will deliver the animal to a USDA-inspected facility. All you have to do is pick up your vacuum-packed processed meat. Fill your freezer with the finest quality beef at the best price. We also specialize in registered miniature Herefords for breeding and show. Call the 6E Ranch today.
So what's the latest at Remington Park with our Thoroughbred Report? Here's their track announcer, our friend Dale Day.
September means time to think about the Oklahoma Derby here at Remington Park. It falls on Sunday, September 29th. Long Range Toddy has stamped himself as a main contender. He's back in Oklahoma City working towards his first Derby win. Owned by Willis Horton Racing of Marshall, Arkansas, and trained by National Racing and Oklahoma Horse Racing Hall of Famer Steve Asmussen, Long Range Toddy became just the second horse to begin his career at Remington Park and then start in the Kentucky Derby, joining Sudden Breaking News in that small club. Breaking his maiden status in his first race around 2 turns, going a mile in September of 2018, Long Range Toddy quickly proved a 2-year-old force at Remington Park when he won the $100,000 Clever Trevor Stakes in early November. Despite his 2-race winning streak, the colt was ignored in Remington Park's top stakes race for 2-year-olds, the $400,000 Springboard Mile, overlooked at odds of 18-1. Dump is outside between runners Dobbins G, inside Marquis Prince fading a bit, and here comes Long Range Toddy breaking out of traffic and gunning for the front. Long Range Toddy grabs the lead inside the furlong pole. Long Range Toddy, the Clever Trevor winner, is pouring it on. Bank it, rolling after Long Range Toddy. Long Range Toddy needs a line, and Long Range Toddy gets it by a head. Having accumulated Kentucky Derby qualifying points in the Springboard Mile, Long Range Toddy kept on gaining valuable points as a new 3-year-old at Oaklawn Park in Arkansas, running second in the Smarty Jones Stakes, then third in the Grade 3 Southwest Stakes, before winning a division of the Grade 2 $750,000 Rebel Stakes. Despite a poor finish in the Arkansas Derby, Long Range Toddy went on to the Kentucky Derby, and unfortunately was one of many caught up in the traffic melee coming off the final turn. A 16th place finish at Churchill Downs, a 3rd place finish in the Ohio Derby, then a 5th in the Indiana Derby, earned Long Range Toddy time off to reset and refocus his energy on the Oklahoma Derby. Back at Remington Park, he has been going to the track almost daily for long gallops and posting official workouts about once a week. The Oklahoma Derby will begin at 3 p.m. on Sunday, September 29th, and feature more than $1.1 million in total purses, with the Grade 3 Remington Park Oaks also on the program. Please go online and play our free online handicapping game, Thorough Enduro. Just go to remingtonpark.com and click on the Thorough Enduro button at the top of the page, or you can go to thoroughenduro.com to get it done. More than $8,000 in prize money. It's free to play. Grand prize, $5,000 for Thorough Enduro. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sports Scene.
Thank you, Dale. Live racing at Remington Park, Wednesday through Saturday, post time 7 p.m. As always, free admission, free parking, best value in sports. And don't forget now, circle that date, September 29th, the Oklahoma Derby. That's a special post time on a Sunday at 3 p.m. All right, Coach, time for the parting shots.
Parting shot today is everybody's read in the newspaper, the Tulsa Public Schools are going to have to cut $20 million over the next 2 years out of their budget. I want to encourage everyone to be a part of this process. We'll be reshaping the district, and we need the help of the patrons as well as the school people to make sure that we do the very best thing for the students involved. $20 million is a lot of money, and we're going to have to really look at programs and schools and grade consolidation. There are many things out there, but we need input. So there are 14 different sites that will have meetings. Make sure to look at the website on the tps.org to be involved with the change.
What a year of sports anniversaries we have in 2019. This is, of course, the 150th season of college football. It's back to November 6, 1869. That's when Princeton and Rutgers kicked off in New Jersey. Professional football kicked off on October 3rd, 1920, making this the 100th season of the National Football League. It all started back in Dayton, Ohio. Don't remember these teams, do you? The Dayton Triangles took on the Columbus Panhandles. Each player then made $50. And this is the 50th season of the NFL Monday Night Football program. Of course, started on ABC Sports with Keith Jackson, the play-by-play, Dandy Don Merritt, the former Dallas Cowboy quarterback, and, of course, the ever-controversial Howard Cosell. All started there on September 21st, 1970. And finally, and believe me, this should be a national holiday. Mark it down. September 7, 1979, 6 p.m. That's when ESPN, the Entertainment Sports Programming Network, went on the air. 24 hours of sports, 7 days a week, non-stop, 365 days a year. God bless them. ESPN, 40th anniversary. All right, Coach, looking ahead, there's a couple birthdays we didn't talk about, by the way. Bob Stoops turned 59 years old on September the 9th. Lincoln Riley on September the 5th turned 36.
And Bob Stoops' book out, No Excuses.
That's right.
Will be out the 10th, I think, of September.
Exactly right, yeah.
So you want to get that because there are no excuses in the Stoops family.
That's right. Looking ahead, by the way, September 21st, we have National Hockey League action here in Tulsa at the BOK Center. The Florida Panthers come in to take on the Dallas Stars. Second straight year the Stars have been here. So you hockey fans, after the Oilers' great season last year, get a little early preview here. September 21st, Saturday, 7 p.m. at the BOK. Should be great action.
That's a different level of hockey, and I guarantee you will be impressed with the athleticism of the National Hockey League players.
And of course, we always encourage you to get out this weekend, support your high school teams around the state. Don't forget again, the 16th Mid-First Bank Backyard Bowl, Jenks and Union. That's at 7:05 kickoff at Union Tuttle Stadium. Not to you this year. Union Tuttle Stadium on Friday night. Other big games around the state.
Well, we also have the Edison Memorial Southside Classic.
That's right, yeah.
And the Central and McLean Northside Classic. All on that one will be on Thursday night at Milton Stadium, the home field for Central High School.
Well, hope you've enjoyed our Oklahoma Sports Scene show. Be sure to be with us next week. Got a lot of things to wrap up. Hopefully celebrating a Tulsa Drillers Texas League Championship back-to-back. For the Yellow Crowd, I'm Chris Lincoln. So long, everyone.